Is one of the most important things about doing a top end on these. How do you do a top end on a modern KTM slash Husqvarna slash Gasgas slash Austrian bike? That's what we're here to talk to you about today. So let's dive in. All right, guys, I'm trying out a new way of making these videos. I'm doing some voiceover stuff, and I'd love to hear your comments on this. Just figured switch it up, do things a little bit differently. So what's going to happen right here is one of the most important things about doing a top end on these is unhooking the battery before you take the power valve actuator off. If you don't do that, it moves and it's really, really hard to deal with. Alright guys, so the rest of this beginning of the video is just me taking the motor apart. I feel like if you're watching this video and going to do your own top end, you probably don't need any instructions on taking the engine apart, but you do want to be careful, use all the right tools, all that good stuff, and don't force anything at all and you'll be just fine. Now, on this bike, it only has like maybe 150 hours on it and it's super clean, so I'm actually not taking the power valve all the way apart and cleaning it. Normally I would do that on a bike that had more hours or if the power valve was more gunked up, but I was able to just super clean it. You can see me douching it with brake cleaner and getting it all dialed in. Now here I'm just taking the glazing off of it right there with the Scotch-Brite. Alright guys, we are in the thick of it. Decided to run the first part of that video a little bit differently. Voiceover and anyway. Let me know what you think about that. As I mentioned just before, I'm not taking the power valve apart and all that. This thing is so clean, it really doesn't need to come apart. Also, this gentleman told me, he said, listen, if the power valve looks good, just leave it alone. I'm like, okay, sounds good. So we're gonna leave that alone. It's moving perfectly, all that. It's shiny and happy once we cleaned it with the brake clean. So we're good to roll. Now we are going to check ring end gap. All right, guys, we're using a Vertex piston, moose gaskets, and a wrist pin bearing from not sure where this came from. Anyway, it's gonna be fine. We've been struggling to get parts recently from the old KTM group, but I like Vertex pistons anyway. They're good. This one is still, I think, made in Italy, so we're good. I've heard rumors that maybe that won't be the case in the future. I don't know if that's true, but I'm gonna check boxes every time I get one to make sure we're not buying Chinese stuff. So if you guys have never done this, take your piston, set it down here, take our ring, toss it in the bore, and then we take our piston and we're gonna just get that lined up like that so it's flat. You can see the gap there. Gonna grab my feeler gauges. Huge shout out to Rocky Mountain ATV guys. They are the biggest sponsor of the channel. They also have some really great tools. Tusk, yes, this is, I'm sure, made in China, but these are feeler gauges. They don't have to be freaking snap-on. On this bore, it's like 2 and a little bit of inches. I usually go with the 3/1000ths per inch kind of rule of thumb. Excuse me, crooked thumb. So we'll go 7 thousandths. So we take our 7 thousandths feeler gauge, come in here, make sure that goes to the bore and slides. We're good. Main thing about ring end gap is you definitely don't want it to be too big, but on a new ring, on a fresh, this is a pretty fresh cylinder, the gap could be big, but you'd notice it. The main thing is you don't want it to be too small, because if it's too small, when the bike heats up to operating temperature, those two ends will touch, and if they touch, everything goes bang. So you don't want that. So we're good there. We'll check the other one, make sure it's good, and then we're gonna go take the old piston off, put the new piston on. I'm gonna put our towel down in here so as to make sure that if we drop a clear clip, it does not go into the bottom end, because that likes to happen and it sucks. Don't ask me how I know. Pick, come in here. I'm gonna have to put you guys down. Keep your thumb over everything, so hopefully keep anything bad from happening. There's our clip. Push this out this direction. There we go. Now we're going to take this back out and we're going to clean this gasket surface. I have a really cool gasket scraper that my buddy Robbie Noyles gave me. It's from Lyle. This thing is awesome. It's gnarly. You got to be really careful with it because it will gouge the aluminum if you're not careful. But this edge must be tungsten or something. It's red. So I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to take that towel, put it back down in there tight so dust and stuff doesn't go in there. Honestly, if a little gasket goes in there, it's not the end of the world. It'll chew it up and spit it out. But try to keep as much out as possible. All right, guys. So now, got this all cleaned out. Let me show you. Oh, I got it kind of. Anyway, gasket surface looking good. Now, what we're going to do is put the clips in, or one clip into the side of this thing, and then we'll do the other one over there. I do not use the easy clips. They do work just fine, I guess, but like someone told me that the diameter of the wire, so not this diameter, but this diameter, is thicker on the easy clips than some other. Anyway, I don't care. It works. What's that?
I don't know. I was just seeing what you got about.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, intrigued. So we're going to put in one side. We're going to put it into the side we're not working on. So I'm going to work on the other side of the bike because we got wires on this side. So I want to look at the arrow. That's going to be this way. So I'm going to put the clip in on this side so that when I put it on, I can work on the other side where there's nothing in the way. Put it in. We're going to put it in basically as a backer for that groove. So we put in just past there. Just to protect it. Take our clip, put one end down in there, thumb over this. You gotta just work it around, guys. These clips do suck, I'm not gonna lie. They are not easy to work with. We're getting there, we're just walking this thing around. There we go, see? Put one tiny little scratch there, but we're all good. Everything's happy. Clip is in there. Take our top end bearing, some assembly, grease, just a little bit of that. That just gives this a little bit of lube until that gas goes in with the oil in it. Got our other clip, head back over to the bike. We take our bearing, put it in there. That grease actually helps a lot to hold it in there so it doesn't want to slide around. Now we take our piston, make sure our arrow is pointing forward. Come over here, we're gonna slide our pin in. Now, repeat process from over there. I'm not gonna get a great shot of it, guys. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna try something. Let me grab a different camera and see if I can get you a POV of this. All right, guys. I got a different camera on. Hopefully you guys can see this. I have no idea what this looks like, but we're gonna get that in there. So one thing you got to do, guys, is make sure that pin is all the way. You see me just move it just a little bit. All right, so now that that's in there, we get this. You can see it drops into the groove. I'm gonna put our thumb over the whole thing, and we're gonna get into this groove. Okay, now we're gonna work this around just like we did over there. Sometimes it goes easier than this, but not today. There we go. Boom, just like that. See, not all scratched up, just fine. Now we're good. I'm gonna go grab the rings, put them on. We're gonna get a base gasket, and I have showed this before, but I'll give you the kind of rundown on how I choose a base gasket. And there definitely is like an official way to do it. I don't really do it that way because 99 out of 100 people could never tell the difference between any of these base gaskets. Now maybe if you went from the thinnest to the thickest, you might notice a difference. So technically, you're supposed to put these on, put the cylinder on, and get your deck height to where you want it. Usually 0. You want the piston to be completely flush with this 0 deck height, and that's the correct way to do it. It takes a long time. Also, you got to squish this down, and I've done it, and I've not done it, and I cannot tell the difference in the way they run. So what I do is I don't use the thickest one, and I don't use the thinnest one, and I pick one of the 3 of this is 3. You know, KTM makes 1,000 of these. I usually go with a little bit thicker of the middle ones because that way it will squish and seal better. So we take that, got our rings, grab our cylinder, come back and with the rest of our gaskets, come on over. All right, guys, rings have a little mark on them. Don't have a good enough camera yet. By the way, let me know, do you think I should get a cool guy mirrorless camera? I think I'm going to. I think we're going to try to up the game here on the channel, make some better looking content. But there's a little mark on these. I always put that up. I don't know that it actually matters on modern 2-strokes, but that's how you always had to do it, so that's how I still do it. Here's our base gasket. I think I'm going to go back to the POV here. But first we gotta get these old head O-rings out. All right, guys, so we're gonna get some assembly grease, not too much. I'm gonna put it on here. This stuff's a little thick. It's not my favorite, but it'll work. I'm trying it out, really, so it's not gonna hurt anything. I usually use some thinner assembly lube, but this will work. All right, guys, here we go. Everything's all happy, clean, and shiny. We got the ring end gaps lined up on the pins. Just gonna come in here. Our hands. Get that. Started. That one. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So now gonna put base nuts on. No torque value on that because we're using this and reefing them down. Then we'll get the head on. Start putting everything back together. All right, guys, another voiceover section here. Just putting the base nuts on, cranking them down. I get them nice and tight. I usually do go in a crisscross pattern as I tighten them down to make sure that we keep everything nice and flat, but you definitely do not need a torque wrench. You also don't need a torque wrench for the cylinder head on a 2-stroke. As long as you do a crisscross pattern, take it easy. I'm using an electric ratchet here just to speed things up to get them down, and then I use a normal ratchet to finish them up. Now we're getting the pipe on, getting the springs on, and getting everything ready to go. And in 2-strokes, I like to use Evans waterless coolant because I really like it on 2-stroke, not so much on 4-strokes. I'm doing that to move the water pump, try to get any air bubbles out of the cooling system. The thing does still have a thermostat, so we are going to have to run it and make sure it gets up to temp before we feel good about it being all the way full. But that did create some room. Yeah, let's slap the tank on and get this thing fired up. Here we go. Stoked. There you go, guys. That is how you do the top end on a TBI. I hope that video helps you out. Let me know what you think about this video. It's a little bit different than my normal ones, just the format and everything. And yeah, I hope it helps. Sorry about the sound. I know it's not great. I can't find my microphones, but I got new ones coming. So yeah, there we go. Guys, I just have to jump in here real fast and say thank you for everyone who said prayers and sent positive thoughts about my son Thomas, who is injured really badly and is paralyzed right now. He is getting better every day, and I really do believe he's gonna walk out of that hospital. it's only by the grace of God that is happening. I cannot believe he's improving the way he is. He's got a long road to go, so please keep praying, keep sending positive thoughts. It really does make a difference. Also, it helps us a lot if you use our Rocky Mountain ATV link. It really does help a massive amount. So if you are already shopping there, consider using the link in the description. It really does help us out. We need all the help we can right now. It's going to be, like I said, a long road, an expensive road, but one that's absolutely worth it because, like I said, he's walking out of that hospital and I know he's going to ride his motorcycle again. So I love you guys. We'll see you on the next one.